What's up, folks? Welcome back to the Screetards YouTube channel. It's November 1st, 9:20. We out here in the garage working on the old big cam Holley Terminator intake long tube C5. She makes about 400 horsepower, makes over 400 horsepower, but slave cylinder's been leaking. It's about all season. Also think the rear main seal might be leaking too. So we're gonna work on pulling the motor out of this girl and getting her over there on that there engine stand. Don't mind the mess and the two boneheads over there chewing on a softball in his own tail. Yeah. But currently we got the radiator out, we got the hood off. Hood's sitting on top of my roommate's IS300 NA2J. GE, no T. Got the supermoto back there. That thing gets me in trouble. Hurts my butt cheeks. My spare wheels and tires. The wheels and tires off of this. There's also another set of wheels and tires over there that my buddy with the GTO absolutely killed the tires on in a matter of like a minute and 15 seconds. But sucker's got a 102 throttle body. It's converted back to drive-by cable instead of drive-by-wire like these come from the factory. I was an idiot when I ordered the Holley and ordered the wrong one. Didn't order the X Max, just ordered the X and forgot I needed the X Max to be able to control the throttle body. And I'm not enough of a rocket scientist to make the factory drive-by-wire system work with a Holley Terminator. So we put a cheapo 102 on there. No offense to Snake Eater, but it was cheap. Snake Eater 1000cc injectors. These are the older Snake Eaters that kind of suck monkey nuts. So gonna have to change those out. Probably gonna get a set of FIC 1000s, or I might try the new Pro Series Snake Eaters. Those are actual Bosch injectors this time. They're actually supposed to be pretty good. I have a buddy that flow tested them, so might try those out. You guys might be wondering how I put a Holley in C5 and what I had to do it. So I still have the factory ECU in this car. Factory ECU still runs the dash. The only thing that doesn't work actually on the dash is the factory oil pressure gauge. I have two coolant temp sensors. I have one on the driver's side bank and one on the passenger side bank. One goes to the Holley, one goes to the factory ECU. You split crank signal, and that keeps the factory dash happy. And with this being a manual, the speedo wiring and all that stuff is in the transmission. And with having the factory ECU, I didn't have to mess with any of that. So she still works. Factory dash works, all that shit. I do have a bit of a Christmas tree light because I don't have HP tuners to disable it. And with this being a 97, the factory ECU doesn't have the option to disable drive-by-wire. I have to flash the ECU to like a 99 operating system or something newer to be able to disable it, but I haven't got to that yet. This does have an aftermarket crank pulley on. I couldn't tell you what kind it is, but they did fix the old crank wobble that these are known for. I did also crash this car, so good for me. Actually bad for me, but we also replaced power steering pulley because I broke a plastic one of those. AC is still in the car, just never put Freon in it, so it's in there, but it doesn't work. But yeah, enough rambling. Let's see what we got to do to get this sucker out. All right, folks. It looks like my microphone is working. Looks like y'all can still hear me, which is good. Got the angle set up. So let me give you a quick rundown of what we got to do here. Hopefully this little stabilizer thingy that I got works pretty good. So if you're not familiar with the C5 Corvettes, underneath these bad boys, watch out, Junior, there is a Batwing oil pan. It's gonna be this guy right here. If you can see that, the corner of that oil pan sticks out even with the subframe, which is not ideal for pulling the motor out. It actually hits the subframe when you go to pull it out. Doesn't allow you to pull the motor out without dropping the subframe down. Quite a pain in the behind. So you actually take and lower the subframe. As you can see, I have the subframe lowered probably about a ½ inch here, and it is lowered also about a ½ inch in the back there, if you can see that little gap right there. And I have that on both sides, got the control arm strapped up there. So now the plan is to make sure that I have everything disconnected up here. Probably gonna have to take the intake off, pull that stuff back up because I was checking to see if some things would fit for maybe some future plans, but I don't think we're gonna go that direction. So I'm gonna set the camera up here, and I guess we'll just get to taking shit apart. Make sure I got a good angle here. Actually, let's see if I can set you guys on top of the car here. There we go. Okay. Now I'll probably make a time lapse out of this, but I guess we'll just start with taking shit apart here. Water pump and all that, I guess technically in theory would probably stay on. Turn the light on here. Pull this bracket, all that shit back out. Maybe. I will pull this shit out. Gotta be a bit of a bitch. Nice thing with these cars, you can leave the power steering pump and all that stuff right in the car. You just pull the accessory brackets off. I'm really hoping you guys can still hear me with this microphone. This person's ever used this. I'm not just talking to myself back here. Step off to the side here and grab myself a towel. Since it's getting a bit greasy over here. I've also got to drain the rest of the E85 out of this at some point. Because this does run on good old corn fuel. So it is getting kind of chilly in here. I'm about to throw the jacket back. Now we'll throw the old coolant reservoir back up here on the stuff. So it is out of the way. These lines are ready to come off. That one can stay. This one does need to come off. That is a heater core line. Also, don't judge me because I did all this shit when I was 19, and it hasn't burnt down yet or blown up yet. Knock on wood. I have spun a cam, spun 2 lifters, 4 lifters in the lifter bores, fucked the cam up. Replaced that, new LS7 lifters. Doesn't like limiter. Learned that lesson. Still doesn't like limiter, which doesn't make much sense to me because my buddy GTO absolutely loves limiter. But enough yapping. Let's get taking shit off here. So I'm gonna take this here cold sensor off. That wire down here out of the way. I have to undo the starter and all that yet, which it looks like I might be able to get to most of that up here. There's also a chassis drain I gotta take off. The O2 sensor can stay in the header, which is not bad. The headers should be able to stay in the car. Shouldn't have to take the headers out. The headers are ready to come out if they need to be. You also have to disconnect the steering shaft on these, which if you've never taken a steering shaft, disconnected a steering shaft from the vehicle, make sure that you lock your steering wheel in place. If cock spring, you can pluck the cock spring up in the vehicle by letting the steering wheel spin freely with it not connected to the stuff. Or you can always put your steering wheel on out of order, and it'll turn too far one way, not far enough the other way. Nothing. Will you guys relax? Really? You have to fight over here by the car. You can't go over there with your shredded softball and stuff. Unbelievable. The audacity. Okay. I don't remember if I have to, I don't think I have to take the injector harness off. I think the injector harness unplugged separately, but I guess I should start with taking the intake off, because that is gonna have to come off. I need to cut this zip tie here, because I did break the connector, I believe. Oh, you guys are ridiculous. Think you're more in a barn or something. God. Okay. Zip tie is off. Did I break it? No, I didn't break it. I don't know why I zip tied that, but I guess good on me. That's here. Okay, that's it. Cool. Harness does have to come out, so that means. Hey! Enough! Go lay down! You're pissing me off. Trying to film a damn YouTube video, and you two are over here fucking fighting for what? Huh? Enough of that shit. Good Lord. Ain't nothing family friendly about any of that. Huh. There ain't no way in hell. Damn, boy, we gonna put solid motor mounts in this hog. Okay. Now, what I'm really not looking forward to here is having to take these out with Allen key. Because I didn't buy Allen key sites. We're gonna try some shit here. See if maybe we can't make it work. That's too big. My luck though is it's metric. No, that's standard. That feels like a strip it out 9000 if I had to guess. This one don't fit though. So my luck, this is probably metric. We're gonna cut here. That wire down here out of the way. I have to undo the starter and all that yet, which it looks like I might be able to get to most of that up here. There's also a chassis there that I gotta take off. The other two sensors can stay in the header, which is not bad. The headers should be able to stay in the car. Shouldn't have to take the headers out. The headers are ready to come out if they need to be. You also have to disconnect the steering shaft on these, which if you've never taken a steering shaft, disconnected the steering shaft from the vehicle, make sure that you lock your steering wheel in place. If you have clock spring, you can fuck your clock spring up in the vehicle by letting the steering wheel spin freely with it not connected to the stuff. Or you can always put your steering wheel on out of order, and it'll turn too far one way, not far enough the other way. Nothing. Will you guys relax? Really? You have to fight over here by the car. You can't go over there with your shredded softball and stuff. Unbelievable. The audacity. Okay. I don't remember if I have to, I don't think I have to take the injector harness off. I think the injector harness unplugged separately, but I guess I should start with taking the intake off, because that is gonna have to come off. I need to cut this zip tie here, because I did break the connector, I believe. Oh. You guys are ridiculous. Think you're more in a barn or something. break it? No, I didn't break it. I don't know why I zip tied that, but I guess good on me. That's here. Okay, that's it. Cool. Harness does have to come out, so that means. Okay. Enough! Go lay down! You're pissing me off. Trying to film a damn YouTube video, and you two are over here fucking fighting for what? Huh? Enough of that shit. Good Lord. Ain't nothing family friendly about any of that. Huh. There ain't no way in hell. Damn, boy, we gonna put solid motor mounts in this hog. Okay. Now, what I'm really not looking forward to here is having to take these out with Allen key. Because I didn't buy Allen key sockets yet. We're gonna try some shit here. See if maybe we can't make it work. That's too big. My luck though is it's metric. No, that's standard. That feels like a strip it out 9,000 if I had to guess. This one don't fit though. So my luck, this is probably metric. We're gonna cut here. I'm slightly pissed off. I found the right size Allen wrench, but it's as you can see, it's very large in size, but it's not ideal to be working with here, okay? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's cold out here, ladies. Gentlemen, you already know what's up. Who am I kidding? There ain't no ladies watching this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna try not to bust my fingers open. And if y'all don't know this trick, I'm about to put you on. In case your Allen wrench is too short, you can do this here. Little whoppity whoopa. You can get a little more leverage. Now, does not exactly help me in this situation, but oh, I lied. It does. See? A wise man once told me, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, Will, I don't know if you know the way, but we're sure as fuck gonna figure her out. Crackheads are back at it. I swear. No, I don't give them crack. They're just might be a little on the spectrum. You know, you get it from their owner. Okay, and if you do this carefully enough, you don't scratch your nice Holly fuel rails. Or your nice Holly intake. Now, the one I'm not looking forward to, this little Timmy back here in the back. Little Timmy back here in the back is a bit of a bitch. I think y'all just also saw the dog 360 going into the garage door too, which is kind of funny. Come on. I will show you guys what I'm struggling with here in a second, as soon as I am done struggling with it. Maybe. Not. struggling with there. So, way back here in the corner, if I can get it to focus here. Down in there. Whoa, hold on. This thing is not working at all how I'm trying to get it to. Okay, come on. What the hell are you doing here? Back in there. Right there. That little fella. Tucked away down in there. Now, if I can get this to stop freaking out here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, what the hell? This thing is kind of annoying. Oh. Okay. Kind of getting it figured out here. You know what? Let's just. Can I like not focus on the garage door, please? What is this thing doing? Okay, trying this again. Had a bit of technical difficulties there. Getting it figured out. Never used a tripod before. But before the technical difficulties, I got this last little fella all the way in the back here loose. So now we're just going to shove our hand back there very uncomfortably as working on the car is always good. I really hope that's not a spider, because if so, that's a terrifying looking spider. It's dead in my car. Really glad it's dead. One tip I can give to anybody that works on cars. Okay? Do the hard part first. Oh shit. Do the hard part first. If you know you're dreading something, you know it's going to be a bitch to do, just do it, get it done with, get it over with. Do the hard part first, because then when you start making all the progress doing the easy shit, you're like, oh damn, that wasn't too bad. You're tricking yourself, because really it sucked and you hated every minute of it, but because you tricked yourself, it's not too bad. Now this one's not giving me much room. I don't remember how I did it. If I go in this way, then my hand is blocking what I need to see. Probably regret taking this sucker off, because this is kind of a pain in the boogers to get on there. The last time I did these, I had a swivel socket and the right size Allen wrench socket. Okay, well, we're going to try a different technique this time. Real estate. I think that just about stripped the ball out. Just not what I want to do. this is why I say do the worst one first. Because once it's done, the rest are easy. I know you guys can't see at all what I'm doing besides just my struggle face. And I apologize for that. But, to be real with you, if I can barely see what I'm doing, there ain't no way in hell I'm getting the camera in here so you guys can also see what I'm doing. Okay. Looks like we got her. Loose, I think. Yeah, okay, it's loose. That's a good sign. There we go again. Another thing that also is not ideal about this is I couldn't find my longer Allen wrench. So if I drop this one and it goes into the abyss and I can't find it, kinda screwed. Make sure if you do a lot of work with Allen bolts, you buy Allen sockets, because my name's Allen, I ain't got no Allen sockets, and this shit sucks doing this shit by hand, especially when I could be done by now because I got power tools. Ooh, I should probably just check my roommates. Tools. Why are you both doing it like that? Honestly, I might call it quits for the night because I don't have Allen sockets, and I might go to Harbor Freight in the morning and get some Allen sockets. I think that's what we're gonna do, folks, because it's already 10 o'clock. My ass is tired, and no, what the hell? I got that front one out. That back one is also loose. As you can see there, I got it a little bit out. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I like this thing, folks. I think this will be the last time I use this, besides for prop shots. I think we'll be taking it out of this to film tomorrow, because I'm not really sure if I'm happy with this, but yeah, I'll catch you in the morning. What's up, folks? It's your boy, Screetards here. We're back in the morning. Last night, I did a little overview of where we're at with the car, what we're doing with the car. Actually, I didn't really get too much into with what we're doing with the car, besides fixing the slave cylinder and pulling the motor out. I'm actually going to be attempting to fix a boo-boo I did when I ran out of skill. So, I said last night that I was going to go to Harbor Freight and get some Allen keys, or Allen bit, so I can take these bad boys out all the way back through there easily. And I forgot that I said I was gonna do that. So I'm just gonna suck it up and get to it. Once I get all these bolts out, I'll be back when I'm pulling the intake off. All right, we got all the bolts out. I cheated. I used, so they're all 5mm Allen key bolts, Allen head bolts, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I used a 4.5mm after I got them loose and just spun them all the way out, so I didn't have to worry about stripping anything. because there was no tension or pressure on them at all. But all of them are out, both sides. Now I have to slide the intake out a little bit and then disconnect this fuel line, and then she'll be off. Just gotta find some masking tape so I can tape the old girl up. All right, now, some of you also may be wondering, well, Alan, how do you get the motor out of these cars? Which I did a horrible job of showing you guys because I just pulled the motor out. Now to pull the motor, subframe has to go down because these cars have a batwing oil pan, which I can actually do a great job of showing you right now. So this here batwing oil pan system actually sticks out under your subframe, which is why it's kind of notched right there like that. Those sit right in there nice and like. Now when you go to pull the motor up out, that subframe will actually hit the oil pan and not allow the oil pan, or the oil pan will hit the subframe, not allow it to come out. So you gotta put the motor or the subframe down. I found it easiest to pull the front bumper off so I wasn't hitting the bumper with my cherry picker. I also pulled the fenders off because I'm going to be trying to straighten the frame rail here. So you take out these here for these here 4 nuts. There's one right there's other, and then they're in the same spot on the retrospective sides. Fancy BC coilovers. 1 and 2. Take those out. You take the upper control arm bolts out. You take the top of the coilover nut off, and your suspension drops out, both sides. You'll also want to drop your brake calipers. That way it's not hanging on the lines. I did see the video of the guy with 800 pounds on a brake caliper line. He's like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Just take them off. You're going to be moving shit around. It's easier to not have them connected to the subframe. Holly Terminator, hidden in the passenger side fender right there. Still working with factory ECU to keep the dash happy. All the Holly wiring is in there. And I will be deleting actually a lot of this factory wiring still because we do not have the magnetic ride control anymore. The only thing we need really in the front on this subframe harness is going to be the wheel speed sensors, which 2 wires per side, so won't be bad. Maybe the power steering rack sensor too. Fans are going to be rewired to the Holly. But yeah, one thing worth mentioning, when you're doing this, you're taking all of the weight out of the front of this car. Make sure you have a jack or a jack stand or a cinder block or something under the rear of the car. Otherwise, your Corvette gonna do a pop a wheelie in the garage on the jack stands and it will not be good. These cars are like perfectly balanced. You take all the weight out of the front and you can literally deadlift the car. Word of advice. So as you can see here, there is not a lot of material left on this here clutch, for one. And for 2, it looks like a fucking rainbow. Now, this is a McLeod Street Extreme. Just makes it. Actually, this thing was rubbing on something. Sorry, my internal monologue stopped because I started thinking. Gears started turning. But anyways, my McLeod Street Extreme. It's supposed to be good for 700 foot-pounds of torque. Let me show you why it looks like it does. So on the old LS1 Corvettes here, you get a little peepee here at the flywheel, there is a freeze plug in the crank. Yeah, you see that little Dorman freeze plug right there? Chevrolet, when they were smoking crack in the 90s, thought it'd be a great idea to put a freeze plug in the center of your engine.
when I put this car together, I actually was at work today. My old man put the pilot bearing in for me because this car is manual. Put the pilot bearing in for me, trying to use the old grease method, and he pushed that freeze plug into my crank, into the bottom end of the engine, which he then resealed, pulled the pan off, got the plug out, but it didn't seal properly. Really, guys? Which is why my clutch has been soaking in oil for the last about year and a half. So what do you do when something breaks? You make more horsepower and fix everything else.